All right. We up. We ready. We rocking. There we go. We rocking and rolling.
Yep.
Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. We back at you. If we on a live show, but if you don't catch us live, you know the platform: Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and iTunes. Or you and YouTube. I think one of them we don't have. I think I just feloniously named an affiliate. But nonetheless, we here after a disappointing Sixers loss to the Suns, 114, 109, or 110 or something like that. It was. I'm a little irked because I thought this was a winnable game. This was a winnable game. It was some plays down the stretch that ultimately caused our demise. And kind of early fourth quarter, we're going to get into that a little bit. But I'm disappointed. Them coming off a back-to-back, I kind of had the sense throughout the game, and Wayne mentioned this earlier in our chat, that they felt like they was kind of wearing down. I felt like we could take advantage of that. And then they got some favorable calls. And I mean, and to their credit, though, they kept the energy high. They didn't fall apart. This is why they're the best team right now in the NBA. They're the best record in the NBA, possibly the best overall team in the league between them and Golden State right now. So this is why they keep their composure. They don't fall apart even when they down. We was up double digits or close to at one point in the game, and they kept their composure. They got good leadership. They got young athletic players, and they was able to pull out the victory. What's your thoughts?
I'm disappointed in this game just because in a game like this, this is a game I got mixed emotions because, for one, Tobias balled out, Embiid balled out. Tobias, his flaw that he had in this game to me today was just that he had 4 turnovers. But I think part of that came because he was trying to force the issue too, because, Maxey was off. He went 5 for 16. But I was saying this before about Maxey. I think one of the things that's going to, if Maxey can get one thing, I think it takes his game to the next level. If he gets the same calls because Chris Paul was out there just grabbing and pushing him around, he can't get no calls against them. And then I was irked at the refs calling all them calls for Devin Booker. Like, come on, bro. Like, I get it. I understand who he is, but Matisse Thybulle was Matisse was in his pocket, and then he started flopping around, and they giving him all these calls, and that was irksome, bro. But I mean, the Sixers, this was like you said, possibly the best team in the league. The Sixers went toe to toe with them. Embiid, that step back 3 that he jacked up, and then he came down, got the steal on Chris Paul, and then threw the ball away. This was just one of them nights where it's the reason why that team is the better team. Like you said, the execution down the stretch, Phoenix did it. That's why their record is what it is. They didn't fold under the pressure, and they handled it. But a good thing we get to see them in a few weeks again.
Yeah. I'm all over the place with this loss because we had a lot of opportunities as far as to win this game. We had a 10-point, 12-point, 14-point lead. But I'm gonna tell you, I could start with Doc Rivers. I thought this was an opportunity for us to play Embiid a little bit more, not keeping him out so late in the fourth quarter. And Maxey's too young not to be playing just 32, 33 minutes a game, especially when I'm seeing that the boy that we drafted, Bridges, he's playing 38, 39 minutes. Maxey can be playing 39 minutes a game easily. 33 minutes is for your veterans, the ones, or for like the Embiid type. But Maxey, especially since we deficient in the point guard position, I think he should be playing a lot more minutes than what he's playing right now. Danny Green can't play anymore, and I wish he in that experiment with Danny Green.
All right, do me a favor. Look at Wayne in your camera. Look at and tell Wayne that, because remember we were saying that about getting Oubre, and Wayne said no, how much he professed his love for Danny Green on the podcast and said there's no way I think he's better than Oubre.
Yeah.
That might have been around the time. That might have been around the time when you said Mike Scott should be starting over Tobias Harris. so if we want to bring up old stuff,
this is like 2 weeks ago we had this Oubre argument. So Tim, look at Wayne's camera and say that to his camera.
I said no. 2 weeks ago I said Danny was done, but Danny is done. He's done.
It's easy why we lost. It's easy explanation. They just have a better team. I mean, it ain't that hard. Out of 7 games, we not winning 4. We might win 2 if we're fortunate. They got a good team, man. Just sometimes it's just as much as that. We need everything clicking in order to win that game. We need everybody clicking, as you've seen. Seth, Tyrese, we had Toby and Embiid going, but we need everybody clicking. And they just, in spurts, it felt like when they was ready to turn it on, they turned it on. There's nothing we could do about it. That's what kind of hurt a little bit.
Hold on. I got to go. I got Herb. Stop, Herb. Stop.
What Herb say? What he say?
Come on, that's why your center shouldn't be bringing the ball up court. Embiid had 2 turnovers. He had 2 turnovers. Did he make a bad play on that? Yes, because he was trying to push the issue and push it up. He had 2 turnovers. He brings the ball up court multiple times, takes guys to the basket, and you talking about he can't bring the ball up court. Stop. We know you love Ben Simmons, and you're trying to absolve Ben of whatever, but Embiid can do all. Embiid is possibly the best player in the league right now.
We did need a point guard. You see the difference when they got a
No, we do. We need a back. We do need another point. You're right.
We need a starting point guard. To be honest with you.
Quick sidebar. I agree. Quick sidebar, Tim. You read Dominic. He told you, he said, add some tags to your title to help you get the views up. FYI. Okay. So discuss that.
Let's make sure they're accurate.
I know, right?
We came on the other night. Tim said the Sixers lost after we won.
Well, I did. I spelled Devin Booker name wrong, so they gonna be on me anyway.
Oh, you spelled Booker name wrong now too?
Devin.
Oh, here we go.
I know. I mean, did you call to talk about the game or give me a spelling? That's what I want to know. Is this a spelling bee? Is this a killing a bee?
All right. For one, Cork is trash, and Danny's suspect. This we know. And these Cork and Danny experiments, we should have been moved on from Danny and Cork. He came out this year starting like the first 2 to 3 weeks pretty good, and he has completely fallen off the earth after that. But Ethan, I don't fully agree. Are they a better overall team? Yes. Do we need everything to be clicking? I mean, we had 2 dudes legitimately off. If anything, they was on for the most part.
Let me ask you: Do we beat them in 7? You got to think about it.
I think it's a possibility. Yeah, I think it's.
And the reason why I say that, Steph Curry passed on his whackness in January to Seth, and Seth was 1 for 9 today's game. And Max
got better defenders on him too.
And Max,
he was missing shot. He had good look.
He missed a lot of open Jones. And Maxey, for one, he was 5 for 16 or something like that. So that, I mean, as of late, that was a little bit more uncharacteristic to how he's been playing. But my thing is, if I had to pick a team in 7, I'm picking the Suns. However, I'm not. It's not to me. It's not to me just that
clear cut.
There you go. That's it's not as clear cut as you trying to say. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. You said Seth is off, which ain't usual. Look at the Suns starting 5, and who is Seth going to be able to get off on that? You got Crowder, Bridges, Ayton, Paul, and Booker. Who's Curry going to be able to cook in that starting 5?
But ain't
you don't got to cook anyone in particular. But you don't think that Phoenix is. You don't think Phoenix has to help foot on Embiid? It leaves somebody open.
That's my point.
And Phoenix couldn't stop Tobias. Tobias kills Phoenix.
You help on Embiid when you have to, but you don't let other dudes like Seth Curry beat you.
But Seth Curry had open shots.
That's how you lose the game. When dudes like Seth beat you, that's how you lose.
Seth had several shots. He had that floater in the middle toward the end of the game in the fourth quarter that he bricked. It was an easy 5-foot floater that he could probably I'll bank on him making. He missed. He had several threes that he missed that was wide open. So I mean, are they a better team? Obviously, the record shows they're a better team. If we playing up to the level of what we normally play, I think it'll be a good series. I don't think it'll be an easy spanking. I really don't. But I mean, another reason too. I want to say why we definitely was still frustrating me to this day. One of the deciding factors in this game was Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges balled out 9 for 14, defense, rebounds. He could pass. He does it all. It was the most.
He was out Toby. You've been playing Toby's spot.
He could have been playing Danny Green's spot. He could have been playing. You could have ran Danny. You could have ran Toby and him and B. Can you imagine having Mikal Bridges, Toby, and Joel Embiid and Maxey and Seth? Now, or you can even switch up Seth sometimes and throw in Thibault, because you got two monster defensive players with Thibault and Mikal Bridges, and Mikal Bridges to score. So I mean, we just that trade is set us back. But we hear where we at, and we should have won this game.
Hey, Kane, I agree with you. I think we do miss Shake, because I think Shake, if nothing else, Shake can handle the basketball. Korkmaz serves no purpose. If he can't hit open threes, because his handling is okay at best, but then when you get those guys that could get up on him and start actively guarding him, there's nothing he can do. He's not making layups. He's not making them little floaters. I was looking at him in the shoot around. This dude was hitting. He like, shooters in the shoot around, they don't miss. Like for real, you know how even if you go to play ball with a guy that played D1 ball or something like that, and he can shoot, he don't miss nothing when he out on the court wide open, let alone even when he's balling with, the average Joe. Cork wide open and bricking. I seen Iguodala shoot around. Iguodala used to hit everything in the shoot around, but Cork is bricking. You're a shooter. Why? How are you missing in the shoot around? Like it's nothing that he brings. So I do think we miss Shake, because if nothing else, Shake can come off the bench. Not saying Shake is the be all end all, but Shake does put pressure on defenses, and he can handle the basketball.
We love this. Our third game. This was Phoenix's third game in 4 nights, and they still came in here and they played us, and they just turned it up when they needed to. So I mean, I still think it'd be a good series, and we've been talking about Tobias Harris, but it's nothing more that Tobias Harris could have done for us in this game. He balled out. Embiid, down the stretch.
Embiid turnover, but I'm not going that big.
But what Embiid did though is Embiid played a good game, but at the end of the game, that turnover that he did with Seth Curry, that was very.
You mean
important.
the turnover after he got the steal to get the ball, and then he
doesn't matter if you don't do nothing with it, don't matter. So what you stole?
Who's at fault there though? For real,
I'm blaming more Seth. Be honest, Seth is slow and a little hot. If that was anybody else, if that was Thibault, they'd have caught it. If that was Maxey, they'd have caught it. It's Seth he got the 2-inch vertical, and the ball goes right over. Come on, bro.
So Embiid got to know your personnel, know who you throwing the ball to. Don't sit there.
Yes, but come on, man. You're an NBA player. Work on your hops. This is why he missed so many shots and can't get a shot off. Your athleticism is suffering.
Seth Curry is like Seth Curry is like your white Mike in your neighborhood. The boy that play ball with you around the way. He's good, but he's not great.
Make the trade. Is that for Harden?
Man, we ain't getting no trade, but what we gonna have to do is work with what we got. Hopefully, Shake come back. Hopefully, put on a little weight and strength to time. I don't know what's going on. Doc don't know what's going on with him.
Shake on dribble in the middle.
What's going on with Shake, which is not good, not a good sign when nobody can tell you when he's coming back or what's going on with him. But hopefully, some of these dudes come back, man. They contribute. That's all we can hope for.
Look, I'm looking at y'all. See all the Embiid haters in it. Listen, we said it was a horrible turnover by Embiid. As a matter of fact, I came on and said it was a horrible shot he took before that turnover.
That's what I'm saying.
No. But y'all not going to come in here and blame Embiid after what he just did today. And he only had 2 turnovers, and y'all want to come here. I'll put it on Embiid. Y'all rabbit mind. When you see Seth Curry putting up 1 for 9, then you see Maxey go 5 for 16. At least he was trying, but Embiid and Tobias is not to blame tonight. God
dang. I'm trying to think. Who was back there with Seth? Was Maxey back there? Why did he get a ball to Seth anyway? I gotta.
I think Maxey and him might have been out. Or was it somebody else back?
Maxey's in the game.
Maxey's in the game. He might have been behind.
No, I'm talking about he might have been out, like out already and running.
He was out. Seth looked like he was about to run and stopped, and then that's when Embiid threw the ball. I know you want to slow it down in that situation because there's only a few seconds left. But who knows what it was? Listen, Embiid ate the turnover. It gave credit to his stats. So you blame Embiid at the end of the day. I guess he's the one that passed the ball. But it could have been a number of things on that. But
yeah, I mean,
Embiid played well. But down the stretch, Embiid that with 45 seconds left in the game, he shoots a high arcing 3-pointer that don't hit nothing. That was a critical play in the game as well.
Yeah, are you right? But hold on. Yeah, Herb, yes. GI, yes. I'm blaming Seth Curry for one for being too unathletic. I've been talking about Seth Curry not being athletic enough for since he's been here. That's one thing. I give him credit for shooting. He got a good jump shot and all that kind of stuff like that. But he's the most unathletic Curry out of all the Currys. First of all, and two, he was 1 for 9. He was one, yes, including the assistants. He was 1 for 9 today, bro. No. So all the blame, more blame goes on Seth than Embiid for that one turnover at the end. As far as we know, Seth could have caught it, and guess what Seth probably did? He probably shot it and bricked it. They'd have called a play for him like they normally do. He'd have jacked up a 3 because we needed a 3. He was down by 3, and he'd have probably bricked the joint anyway. But that's neither here nor there.
You know what's funny though, Ephraim, real quick? They want to blame Embiid so bad, but the only reason we actually almost had a shot at it was when Embiid muscled through 3 people, dunked the ball, and it got everybody back hyped up and in the game because the air was out of the whole stadium, out of the whole arena. It was no air in there, and when Embiid did that, it jacked everything up again, and then the refs called a foul for Devin Booker.
That's true.
They got some road cooking today.
Somebody said that a man down said the rest was horrible. I agree. The rest was definitely horrible.
Somebody said Phoenix broadcast blamed Seth because he ran that stop, which I said could have happened. But I don't remember seeing the play. When you can't fake the man out that's about to pass you the ball. You know what I mean? You can't fake him out. You know what I mean? Either you're gonna stop or you're gonna run. So that's why I said I gotta watch the play again. You just see, we can't. We doing a little overreacting because you see B throw the ball, but we didn't see what Seth did before. You know what I mean? That's like a quarterback and a wide receiver. When a wide receiver is supposed to go turn around and stop, and he keeps running, and you throw the ball and it's an interception, everybody blaming the quarterback. Well, the wide receiver ran the wrong route.
That's true. So, I gotta watch.
I gotta go back and watch that myself.
Your little boy said Jalen a lot this year too.
Okay. Your little boy said, "Why didn't Doc call a timeout?" That is a good point, though. Why didn't he call a timeout at the very end to drop a play? Because that was a huge point in the game.
Did we have a timeout left?
What play Doc going to draw up?
But Seth, so you can shoot a brick.
It was a point in the game, a couple seconds left, when they kept trying to force feed Embiid the ball, and it was hard to get him, and the shot clock ran all the way down. I think Maxey had to force a shot. Like, that was dumb. You got a dude, Toby, that was hot. You got Maxey even get a shot, and you kept, and you wasn't able to give him the ball. Do something else. That's what I mean. Sometimes this team, you so stuck on getting Embiid the ball down there in the post, but the way Phoenix was playing, Toby couldn't get it to him. He gave it back to Maxey, tried to get it to him. He gave back to Toby, tried to get it to him, and they couldn't get it to him. Then Maxey had to force up a shot that he missed. Like, we need better shot selection than that. Come on, man.
To me, that's them players' fault because Embiid had Bridges sealed down in the box, and this was the same issue we had before. If he had your superstar center has somebody 6'7" sealed down there in that box, they can't make. It's like everybody like pump faking, scared to make a pass.
I saw what happened on that play. Chris Paul was kind of lurking. I think he kind of scared him a couple times because they saw him lurking. You know how sometimes you get it and you turn and that ball right there to swipe it away. I think they kind of saw Chris Paul lurking behind a little bit, waiting for the pass. Because if he'd had to throw it over top, then it makes it an awkward angle, and then Chris Paul can easily just smack it, and then it's ball bounce around. So I think that's one of the reasons why it was kind of goofy getting that inlet passing. But I agree with Ethan though. At that point, you got to work your other dudes, or at least your one other guy who was hot. And Toby and see if he could pull you out something. But
the funny part was they was trying to get Seth in the game, like running the beat and Seth picks, but Seth was refusing to shoot. At that point, he ain't want to shoot no more.
I said this early in a chat, but the boy Niang is not a bright player at all. He do some stupid things in the game, and it's like
he do some stuff sometimes.
Like, he tried to do a lob at the end of a shot clock when you saw there was only like 1 second left. I'm like, you had a clear opportunity to shoot the ball, just shoot the ball, but he decided against it. I
agree. That was kind of dumb. That kind of irritated me.
You don't want to talk about trades. Now you want to talk about trades.
Somebody said, I can't remember who it was. They said Seth shot himself into Brooklyn.
We wish. You think Seth was untouchable? You think Seth would be the reason we wouldn't trade for Harden? It ain't Seth Curry. Ain't that? Listen, you best believe they want. If anything, they want Maxey included in the deal if they want to make a trade. But I don't think Brooklyn wants to make the trade.
Hold up. Ron L is not saying what me and Ethan been saying for a minute. He said, I think we might have blew it with the trades. This is what I've been saying earlier. I think you might.
Who said that? Ron L. Hubbard.
Ron L. He said, I think he might have blew it with the trades. So I mean, this was the danger of playing hardball with Ben. That it was a very strong possibility you may have held him too long to your own demise. You may have either held him too long because you thought you was trying to get some kind of payback at him for sitting out, or you might have held him too long because you was trying to get too much for him and teams wasn't playing ball with you. So, I mean, we'll eventually find out because, I mean, it's going to be an opportunity to trade him at the end of the year. We'll see if that was a smart move. Are we missing our window of opportunity possibly to win this year with the right trade? Or are we going to wait till next year and possibly get a bigger name and see how it goes? That's the torch that Morey going to have to bear, because if he fumbled a bag on this whole Ben thing, he going to have a lot of upset people. That's all I'm saying.
He should be out of here. He should be out of here. And I don't think you're making any moves before, like any small moves, because Sixers ain't trying to get rid of no assets they can use to try to get either Harden or whoever they're trying to get.
We might have to just wait till the buyout market. That's what he might. That's
Charlie.
Let me ask y'all something. Right? Somebody just said you can score 40 points in the game and still be the reason the team loses. They're trying to say B was the reason we lost.
But that's not a wrong statement. You can.
It is a wrong statement.
You can score 40 points.
You switch up so much.
All right, Wayne. Tell me this: you're up 2. And then you got the ball. You score 40 points.
Well, without them 40 points, you're not even up 2.
But
so now what?
But you're up 2, and you sit there and you throw the ball out of bounds, and they get there and they score a 3-pointer. Are you the reason why they lost? Yes or no?
No.
Yes. Oh
no.
Okay, then never mind.
All right. Then you know what? Then take Embiid whole play out. Take his whole play tonight out. Wait, you know, I got something for you. Take Embiid whole play out. Remember, you was one of the people. See, we need somebody like Ayton as our center. So now take Embiid. Let's trade Embiid and bring in Ayton. Because remember, you wanted Ayton as a center. You want an Ayton type center. That's what you said.
I said BB. I say Ayton. I said BB Ayton.
Yeah, all right. You said you wanted an Ayton type center when you was ripping Embiid a couple weeks ago.
That was before he became an MVP. First of all, if you can't tell me what podcast I said it didn't happen.
Oh, don't make me pull it. First of all, you act like we ain't got regulars in here that heard you talking that foolishness.
Charlie M asked me, he said, do I really think any of those trades would have took us over the top? I do.
Harden would.
I think the right possible trade. Honestly, I think even a trade like C.J. McCollum would have possibly took us over the top. I think if we could have imagine had C.J. McCollum in a game like this tonight, where you put Seth on the bench and you got him and Maxey start. Like, you don't think his 20 points a game, 30 something percent shooting from 3, 40+% from field goal wouldn't have been a huge benefit to this team, not just this game, but going forward into the playoffs. So, I mean, if these obviously now it's not a secret he got traded. So was he on the trading block? Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely, he was in the trading block. So now all this stuff that they were talking about, these possible scenarios that all y'all in here in the comment section was trying to act like, oh, it's just whisper down the lane and Morey tried to shoot down. Morey, no, these trades wasn't for real because it's just internet talk. Now the ball actually is gone. So he was on the trading block, and we probably could have gone for Ben, but we wanted the 8 first-round draft picks. We wanted somebody firstborn. We wanted somebody sheep and cattle. We wanted somebody deed to their house and car for Ben Simmons.
Y'all not big picture type dudes.
Okay. Tell me the big picture then.
Big picture is Bradley Beal shut it down for the season, as did and then
exactly her
and the boy Dame Lillard shut it down for he got his surgery. So you got all these free agents are going to be coming out this summer. So you got this big chip right here that you can get one of them free agents in the summertime.
You see him?
Why sit there?
You see him?
You're not going to just blow it up. You're not going to just give it away when you got a chance to get a real superstar in here. And it makes sense.
And you got my man down to about Maury better have something up his sleeve. That's what everybody thinking and hoping. He don't.
We gonna see. We gonna see. But he better. I mean, I agree with y'all to the extent of he better have something in the works. I'm all down with taking the calculated risk at that point. I'm down with that. I'm fine with that. But you better make the right move, or it better be a good move that come in when you finally make the move. And hey, Charlie, you must not listen. I came in from the beginning and said Embiid. I blamed Embiid for the plays he did, so I can acknowledge a hiccup. But like Ethan even said, that might not even have been a turnover on Embiid. It might not even been Embiid's fault. I have to go back and look and see.
It was Embiid's fault. I rerounded. It was Embiid's fault.
No, you didn't.
I do got to mention this one more time. Mikal Bridges played 41 minutes. CP3 played 42 minutes. Devin Booker played 37 minutes, all on a back-to-back. There is no reason why our young guns like Maxey can't be playing 39 or 41 minutes a game. It makes no sense to me, especially when you got a bad.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, Maxey should have played more minutes. That way he could have shot.
It's not about shooting. It's about controlling the offense. You just wanted to hate. And I'm not.
No, I don't know. No, I'm trolling. I'm trolling because I agree because Maxey was our only ball handler.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
I agree with that too. I agree with him with that. Our offense at a certain point they showed this the stat. Our last 35 points in a row was scored by B, Tobias, and Maxey. So that show you the impact that those three had on the game, especially when it was in there. And a couple people mentioned this earlier if y'all was listening to the show for a while, we actually talked about this all the way back as last year. Doc's all bench rotations. I never liked them all bench rotations. He does that often. It didn't do too bad earlier in the game when he kind of put him in. I think it was like the second quarter. Second quarter. They played decent and they actually got us a little bit of a lead. But these all bench rotations, after a while, other teams don't do that. So when they get their starters in trickle with a couple bench players, you're eventually going to pay the price with a lot of these all bench rotations. And that was one of the things I feel that kind of hurt us in this game too. But this is the way Doc does. He don't change. He don't change. He's stuck in their ways. Once they get something in mind, they ain't changing. He's been doing this for decades.
Listen, let me ask y'all.
Go ahead.
Are y'all willing to give Harden a 5-year? You know the deal he wants is going to be 5 years, $270 million. That's the max.
That's a lot of money for a 33-year-old.
They said the last year on his deal is $60 million.
$60 million. I heard that.
For 1 year. And he's going to be like what at that time? 37, 38?
40.
In the off season, though. Now, if we was able to make the trade for him now, and then he come in here and we win a chip, and he balling out or something, you might have to overcompensate. That's what you have to do sometimes. But that being said, if he comes here in the off season, then if that's what it's going to take to get him in here, I'm not taking. Especially if he's, I don't know if he's for real or not, but he's saying his hamstring is bothering him. I think it's because he wants to get traded. He doesn't want to be in Brooklyn anymore. But we'll see if Brooklyn don't trade him. I think Brooklyn's calling his bluff, and if they don't trade him, either he's going to have to ball out, or I'm not giving him that. I'm not giving him that contract just off a sight unseen. Like I ain't seen him play with Embiid. I'm not giving him that.
Man, after this game, if the trade is Seth Curry and Ben in the first round pick, because that's what I've been hearing, I'm good.
Maybe Seth is on the block. Maybe that's why his wife sent that tweet out earlier that caused the Philly internet, the Philly Twitterverse to be in the uproar.
She said she was talking about a TV show.
Oh, she had people all up there. Like, this is the trade.
Doc got to trade his daughter away. I
mean, she's going to Brooklyn. They can still come down on the weekends, or
So look, my only thing about doing that with James Harden, that 5-year, $270 million deal. In 3 years, our team's going to be trash for the next 5 to 6. That's my fear. If we don't win a chip. You going all in for a chip. So you have to win a chip.
But I don't know. I don't think they'll necessarily have to give him that, though.
Will be trash.
I don't think they'll necessarily have to give him that.
Why not?
Because I don't think anybody's going to give him that. What team do you think is going to give him that kind of contract? Unless it's a team that's trying to rebuild or something, and you think he's going to go there and really play for them? He's already shown the penchant of if he's not in the chance to win a championship. I don't think that. Now, I'm not saying that he's not going to demand that and want that, but didn't Kyle Lowry say he wasn't settling for nothing? But what did Kyle Lowry get the money he said he was going to get?
Kyle Lowry not hard.
No, I'm saying
you really compare Harden to Kyle Lowry?
Yeah, well, he wasn't asking for the same money that Harden's asking for either. My point is, these guys, sometimes these older guys say this is what they want, but then it's about what the market dictates. So how many people do you think is going to be out there willing to pay him that kind of money? When you're going to have Bradley Bill's a free agent, you may have, it's a few people that you're going to have as free agents. Kyrie, Bradley Bill. If I got money and I have a chance to either get Harden or get Kyrie, if I'm a team that's got that kind of space and trying to build up a squad, I'm taking Kyrie.
I agree, Charlie. I'm a little irritated too. We should have won this game. I was real geeked on the way Toby was playing earlier and all that. I was hyped. Toby was balling. If we get this type of Tobias consistently, we can contend with anybody the way Joel Embiid is playing. The only thing we need is that third dude to hit shots. It either is Maxey, either is Seth, either is Minivan, either is maybe Feibel happens to see the light, or Danny Green turn back the hands of time. One of them third dudes gonna have to step up. But if Tobias and B or Tobias continues to play well like he's playing, because I have confidence B is going to continue. But if Tobias continues to play like that, we could go toe to toe with any team in the league, bar none. And right now,
we need a Maxey.
Let me say this, because I know everybody always, you would talk about Steph Curry MVP and all that. And I've been said that Embiid has taken the lead over Steph Curry. I feel the MVP race is now Joel's to lose, to be honest with you. It's only two players who can possibly even contend with him for the MVP. And one of them probably is Steph, because of the team's record is so good. If he went nuclear for the rest of the year, he's the only dude that might be able to contend for the MVP. But right now, I think it's Joel's to lose.
So you being so
hey, Herb,
go ahead.
You do know that I think Woj said it wasn't offered, but the Sixers, a lot of other sources said the Sixers did offer Jimmy the max, but Jimmy didn't want to come here. So Jimmy rather the less money to get traded to Miami.
Because he ain't like Brett Brown.
Right, but Jimmy was off. The Sixers did offer Jimmy the max.
I still think we should have pulled a move. Got some young boys in here. I kept saying that. Halliburton, Hill, boys like that in here, man.
Yeah, I wanted Tyrese, but just based off from this game though, not Tyrese, but Matisse actually started out real good. He had two big 3-pointers in the first quarter. He was shooting. Defensively, he was playing really well. I mean, he
spark when he started.
Say it again.
He said that spark when he started.
But now he just garbage.
Yeah, he did start with a spark. He did start. He did that one before the end of the first or the half or something. It was halftime.
He
even did the pump fake sidestep, bang the three.
Yeah, that's
nice.
I was hoping we was gonna be talking about Matisse, how well he played this game, but I'm gonna have to put a little blame on those referees though, man. There was one play where Matisse literally got leveled by Chris Paul and they gave a foul on Matisse. He was like, what can I possibly do?
Yeah, it was a couple of suspect calls. My father-in-law is adamant about us needing to add a rebounder to the lineup.
He's right.
But this is where you know what? I'm not even gonna go back to
Go ahead, say it.
I mean, I'm going back to this is where a dude like Mikal Bridges would have been so impactful in our lineup, because I forget,
or a guy like Ben Simmons, because
honestly, even if Ben would have got his mind right and been the Ben that he's supposed to be, even if he didn't do all the other stuff we want him to do with the shooting and the 3-point in the mid range, if he just had the mindset to play basketball right now, it will help us out. But all that being the case, we do have to find out how to get some extra rebounding. If we going to possibly run some lineups, with Bassey in there, move Tobias down to a small forward, put Bassey in as a power, anything. I'm just spitballing right now because we need to get more rebounding in here. Danny Green, first of all, is not a starter. I'm tired of seeing him come out.
He's not.
I know they've been giving Maxey some starting time and all that. I mean, Thibault some starting time and all that. Danny is done.
All our wing players are too small.
The worst thing we could have done. Re-signing Danny was the worst. You know why else it was bad to re-sign Danny Green? Because he got hurt in the playoffs, right? So he was an injured player when you re-sign this dude.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that is.
Hey, heard about call Ben here rebounder. Hey, Ben is compromised.
Ben ain't taking calls.
Ben will be back.
Only person Ben talking to right now is he and Shaq DM. Well, you talking about me, big man?
Yeah.
That's the only person Ben
Ben is going to play if he doesn't get traded. They saying that Ben will be back in the lineup.
Stop trying to kill the credibility of our show. Where you hear from? You? Did Tawana tell you that?
Yes, Tawana told me that. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing that Ben will be back after the All-Star break.
I know Charlie M. McKell is the small forward that we need. That's why I was so devastated when we traded him on draft. I'll never get over that. I really won't. Unless he comes back when his contract is up, which probably ain't going to happen. They're going to sign McKell. They ain't letting it go.
He already resigned.
Yeah, he already resigned.
All right, never mind.
No, but honestly, our problem is
forget Brett for that. Never.
Our problem is we have three smaller guys at our guard and forward position. Like other than B in our starting lineup, you got B and even Toby's like 6'7", 6'8", power forward. I don't got no problem with Toby's play. I don't got no problem with Toby's play, how he's playing now. But he's still undersized a little bit. And then when you combine that with a 6'5", 6'6" Matisse, and then you got Seth at 6'2", Maxey at 6'2", 6'3". Like that's all three smaller guys where we're being out rebounded in all these positions.
You got some smaller guys like McKell ain't that taller than them who could still rebound. Thibault's not a rebounder, but if you brought in, instead of re-signing Danny Green, if you brought in let me think of somebody, just throw a name out there like a Kelly Oubre. Because they signed for the same money.
I can't argue that point no more.
But you did for a long time.
I can't argue that point no more.
So I think signing Danny Green was a terrible move. We didn't really do nothing good this offseason. We didn't get younger. We didn't get more athletic. We got Minivan who, him until he had a spark when he started. Now I don't know what's going on. Well, he's just garbage right now.
I mean, Bridges only averaged 4 rebounds a game too. Like, I mean, how great of a rebounder is he?
He's a great defender.
I'm just saying.
But I'm saying we're talking about. Listen, I like Bridges in his game, but if we're talking about rebounders,
let's see, man, how many rebounds Matisse averages a game?
Go ahead. Tell how many.
And Danny Green.
Oh, we know it's more than Danny Green.
The combined Matisse and Danny probably don't average 4 rebounds.
Matisse has 6 rebounds this game.
I said average.
I'm just telling you what he had today.
He averaged like 2 rebounds. 2 rebounds.
And how many Danny averaged? And Danny probably averaged 2.
Danny actually might average more than Matisse.
He averaging 3.5.
He's averaging 3.5. Both of them combined is giving you about what?
No, they not. Both of them combined is giving more than Bridges. Danny almost averaging what?
Ethan?
No, Danny averaging 2. His career is 3. This year he's averaging
Tim looking at the wrong stuff.
He's averaging 2, and Matisse averaging 2. So them two combined is averaging with Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at ESPN. They said that Matisse
I'm looking
is
right
averaging.
now. No, I'm looking at the NBA basketball reference.
Are you looking at Matisse? I mean, not Matisse, Tyrese.
I'm looking at
Danny.
He's talking about Tyrese.
He's talking about Danny and Matisse Thibault.
Oh, I'm looking at Tyrese. My bad.
Come see, you still bringing the credibility down to our research.
My fault.
So those two combined are averaging with Mikal Bridges. And this is what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying.
Those three, honestly, that position, those three, that trio, compared to what we had in previous times, is where a big drop in our rebounds is coming. Now they bring, I ain't gonna say they. Maxey brings other things to the fold that we, that's good for us. But like that's a big hole to have, and that's why we don't have a rebound, especially when you have Embiid, who's your defensive anchor, who's chasing down after blocks, and then on offense, he's the one that has the focus on him. So that means even if he does shoot or whatever, you have attention on him. He's not going to have that free reign to run at a rebound.
But that's why I think. But that's why I think that's another reason why I think Mikal Bridges don't ever that many rebounds. Ayton don't really come out the middle. He just getting there and got. Well, how many rebounds Ayton average? I'm sure he averaged double-digit rebounds. He just in there just blocking shots and grabbing boards. And you're right. And Charlie M is right. The Bull.
JaVale McGee.
JaVale McGee, he been.
I was
playing,
going to say that too.
he a baller. I was actually as a Steph Curry fan, sideways Golden State fan. I was rooting for them to re-sign JaVale McGee. I'm surprised they didn't because that's what they missing big time.
Yeah,
but
their backup center is better than ours.
Well, their coach is better than ours. That's who should have been coaching the Sixers, but all the people that wanted to give Brett one more chance. Brett deserves it. He said through the 5 years, give Brett a chance.
I think Herb, GI, and I'm gonna call another PA Assassin wanted Brett Brown to stay for them.
Remember how many years he was catching grief? I was ripping Brett from like the second year he was here, and all I kept hearing was Brett deserves it. Brett deserves a chance. Brett deserves it. That's all you heard. Yeah. Look at the coaching that we'd have missed out on because Monty would have been the coach here until they said they was going to bring Brett back for one more chance.
No,
so are we done? Are we done with our young boys with Bassey and Paul Reed and them? Somebody mentioned Paul.
No, wait, like, Isaiah Joe didn't even get burned today. Now that I think about it, like we couldn't give Isaiah Joe no burn to try to.
We need the boy Danny Green to go out with another injury. Somebody needs, I don't know if anybody want to take him out like with the knees.
But this is where honestly, this is where the politics I believe comes into the game. You can't, in good conscience, not play a dude making $10 million a year over a dude who's on the league minimum. Like,
yes, you can. And in the NFL, you probably won't, but in the NBA, you can. You're gonna play the best players.
Where do you see that happening for the most part?
The Knicks is doing it right now. Well, they was doing it earlier when they was sitting the what's this shooter.
They
had him riding the bench.
Hey, wait. So real quick, somebody addressed the Kelly Oubre thing. Somebody said Danny Green was signed with the Larry Bird exception. You couldn't assign Oubre with that money.
Larry Bird, what's that, like $5 million? That's the veteran.
Yeah, but you can only give that a Larry Bird exception. You can only give to a player that you already have on your roster.
Yeah, Larry Bird exception. The Larry Bird exception is when you sign the max players.
Yeah,
it's not necessary when you sign a max players. It's when you sign a player to keep a player on your roster.
I don't know. We got to do some research on that. You got to test it.
I'm just saying what somebody said. I don't know.
That makes sense. The Larry Bird exception is if you have the rights, because you have the rights to the player that you have, you can fuss on them more than anybody else can.
I don't know. I mean,
the team has the right. The team has the right to re-sign its own free agent in excess of the salary cap. So that means it don't have to be a big time star, but you can, even though you're up against the salary cap or past the salary cap, you can still sign your own player, but you can't go sign a free agent.
Okay, so Oubre might have been out of our.
Oubre might have been. Yeah, if that, then see, that's why I told y'all, man, we could.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you do that.
Interesting to look because who we would have brought in Oubre instead of Drummond? Is that the money the money we spent on Drummond would have had to been spent on Oubre? Would you done that?
Well, you need a backup. We need a
real backup. I mean, I'm not going. I would have said, what about Court? Can you would have trashed a couple? We could have got left. Okay, so what? How much of an exception did we get? So we got $5 million for Danny Green.
Korkmaz is cheap as I don't know what. I think he got like $5 million.
So you got cut. So that's what I'm saying. You cut Court. You get rid of Danny. Whatchamacallit, you got a couple other dudes expendable. Seth, not Seth. Whatchamacallit, the dude who hurt all the time now. Our backup point guard. It was Shake making. You got to.
But they were Shake is already under contract. We not talking because even if a guy under contract, you can't just cut him and then you don't got to pay him. He's still on your salary cap.
You could cut him in stretch. Can't you cut him in stretch? Cut them and stretch their money out throughout a couple of years.
You might be thinking about football, basketball.
Basketball. You could cut them and stretch their money out.
The Sixers signed. Remember last year, the Sixers signed Korkmaz and Danny Green. They could have took both of them clowns' money and signed Oubre.
No, but this is what they're telling you. If Danny was signed with the Bird exception, that means they were already at the cap. So they did not have
the Bird exception means you can give them more. They said you can give them 100.
No, it doesn't. Read it again. It says you can sign a player in excess of the salary cap. That means you're at the salary cap.
175% of his salary.
Say again.
It says the Sixers have Green's early bird rights, meaning they can offer him up to 175% of his approximately $15 million salary last season.
Okay. But the Bird exception means that you can sign someone even though you don't have cap space.
Yeah,
Because that's what you see what I'm saying, Ephraim? So that's what I'm saying. Like they might have been
more. It means you give them more than any other team.
That means it means you can give him despite what your salary cap is. If you're at your cap limit, you can sign him.
All right, well, let's do some more.
But if they didn't have any cap space, you can't bring somebody else in as a free agent.
We're gonna do some more. Like Tim said, we're gonna do some more research. We'll come back on that.
We're gonna call New York.
But let's be clear about this. Let's be clear about this. They call Morey. Supposedly, Morey is the cap wizard, the cap genius, and all that kind of stuff like that. So if you wanted to get a boy like Oubre, I'm sure we could have made it work without signing Danny, without signing Korkmaz and the rest of these dudes. But we at where we at now. Oubre ain't coming in to rescue us. CJ McCollum, who was probably a legitimate trade option, ain't coming in to save us no more. Morey may have fumbled the bag on this. He may have fumbled the bag. But all that being said, I still do think this is a winnable game. If I'm placing blame on people, the number one blame goes on Seth Curry. Number one blame on Seth. Then it kind of goes down to Maxey. He was trying. I give Maxey credit. I never want to shoot a dude who was actually legitimately trying to make shots. Someone just want to fall. Some of them threes he jacked was way outside of his wheelhouse too. That irked me a little bit. Some of them threes was like Dame Lillard type threes. He was chucking up way out.
You talking about Maxey?
Yeah, he took like 2 or 3 of them up, bricked both of them. But
they the same shots he had been hitting though. So I'm not going
far out. He was far out.
But these are all growing pains for the young man.
No, they are. But I'm doing to state the obvious. He didn't have a good game. Seth didn't have a good game. Niang didn't have a good game, and we had that huge turnover at the Embiid. That was the factor that called, and some suspect substitutions by the coach.
I told you, Doc's still on the investigation for me. And this is why I said I wanted some youth.
I can't really do that
as far as coaching.
High-hand Queen said it ain't that hard, Ethan.
I know. Sometimes old heads don't want to change. Look at Tom Thibodeau over there. He's stuck in his ways right now. He's ruining New York over there. They tanking, and they supposed to be a top seed in the East. So we're gonna be in the same situation over here, man. It's a reason why once you see players not getting along with coaches, you start questioning that, man. Sometimes when you get older like that, you get stuck in your ways, and Doc ain't trying to change with the times. So I mean, he's still doing these same whack rotations. He's coaching like over there in the Clippers.
But I don't think you heard it. You heard Sixer players having a problem with Doc?
No, ain't nobody having a problem.
No, I thought Ethan just said. He said when players start having problems with coaches.
He's talking about Tom Thibodeau.
You talking about Thibodeau?
Yeah,
you talking about?
And well, didn't Paul George have a problem with Doc? Don't Ben Simmons have a problem?
I'm talking about with the Sixers.
Come on, Ben Simmons' problem with Doc is.
Oh, so now you want to act like Ben Simmons is a normal situation?
I'm just saying.
Ethan, don't do that. Ethan, don't compromise yourself.
Hey, Ephraim. Remember when Cork was balling earlier? Remember when Cork was balling earlier in the year, and we was like, we need to use him as trade bait while he was hot?
Yeah,
they couldn't do it. They couldn't trade him till after January 15th, and by then he was already stinking. So
he was one of them dudes that
because he just re-signed. Yeah.
Okay. See, my concern about the
that means Danny couldn't have been traded either. Then earlier in the season we couldn't trade Danny or Cork or Drummond.
All right.
Ethan is always coming at Doc. Charlie, he is.
The problem I have with the Sixers.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. You're right, Tim.
The problem I have with the Sixers.
I missed 2 podcasts. I got a lot of energy in me. Go ahead.
I understand. But my fear is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're looking good, and they have a young backcourt. They're a strong team coming up. They're up and coming team, and they look like they're trying to go for the whole thing. They're making little small moves, like even getting Levert.
They like Atlanta last year.
Yeah. So my thing is, our backcourt got to be able to match their backcourt, that energy. I know we got Embiid. That's great. We got the best center in the league. But I'm talking.
Yeah, but I think they have the best. I think they have the person that guards Embiid best of anybody in the East, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Cleveland is going to be a tough matchup to the Sixers.
That's my point that I'm making, and that's why I said the Sixers got to do something. That's why I kind of wanted Tyrese Halliburton in there, because I thought that'd be a young backcourt to match the Cleveland Cavaliers, the up and coming teams. But go ahead, Ethan.
Hot hand Keys. All right, am I saying it right? Hot hand Keys. Keys. I'll say this. I'm not. I hear you with Cleveland. They ball, and I'm not hating, but I think we could take them in a 7-game series. I think we right there. Somebody said it earlier. It might have been G.I., Charlie M, or one of the Brett Brown loving Bulls. They said that they think. No, I'm messing with y'all. But they said they think we right there. We right there, and we showed it. We did show it. This game was literally 2 shots away from being our game, maybe even 1 shot away from being our game. And you talking about this is the best team right now on paper in the NBA. So I'm not overly in panic mode, like, oh man, the sky's falling away and as good as we. I think we are showing right now we are one of the top teams in the league. We definitely one of the top teams in the East. So I would have liked to make a move before the trade deadline to secure the bag, if you will, for the Sixers. And I think the bag could have been secure with a couple of choice moves, possibly with a Halliburton, possibly with a CJ, possibly with the dude, I'm forget his name, from Sacramento, or a couple players from there. I think we could have secured the bag a little bit more, but Morey wanted too much for Ben.
Well, it remains to be seen. It's still got a day left. But that's another point about the game. Now, let's keep it a bean too, though. Like we'd saying what the Sixers did, what all the Sixers did to mess up, but let's not act like Chris Paul didn't hit some amazing shots down the end of that game. He hit like I agree, but what the point that I'm making is sometimes you got to give the other team some props for making those plays too, because they had a couple plays where they defended him excellent, and Chris Paul just did what Chris Paul do in big moments, and he hit them. So I mean that's all I'm saying is, and of course we did make mistakes down the stretch that we could have helped ourselves, but sometimes you gotta give the other team some props. They made their plays.
No, but back to what Tim said, though. That's a lot of minutes for dudes on a back-to-back. I mean, sometimes you gotta trust your player. Do the players come to Doc and be like, yo, I can play more if you need me. I don't need to play 30 minutes. We had a couple of days off. These dudes is on a back-to-back and they not coming out the game. Don't you kind of, wouldn't you challenge yourself a little bit to get back in that game and play? Or would you sit there and wait on the coach?
Now Ethan just want everybody mutinous against the coach. Put me in the game, coach.
I'm just saying, when you see it, when you see things not. Listen, if you try to win a game, you home, you see things not going. You don't just stick to something, even though that's what's wrong with. This is what I keep saying about dudes, these older dudes stuck in their ways. He sticks to the same script time and again, and the same thing keeps happening. What the fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. You know what I mean? Like, he keeps getting fooled. It comes to a point you like, yo, something got get it, bro.
But shout out to George W. Bush.
The game to like 6 minutes ago. Every game, no matter what happens in the game, you still stick to the script. Like, come on, man.
But yet and still, when he has Embiid, whatever script he's sticking to, they have an overwhelmingly favorable winning record.
Not in the playoffs.
I mean, in the playoffs, his record was winning too until,
I'll say this. And this is the scary part about a team like Phoenix, is that I'm looking at Mikal Bridges' last 10 games, and he seems to be he's averaging 13 points on the year, right? But his last 8 games, he's 18, 26, 27, 24. Then he had 12, 15, and 23 against us. So he's in some of his games, look, he was 6 for 9, 11 for 16, 10 for 14, 9 for 17. It's all over 50%. 5 for 10, 50%, 6 for 12, and 6 for 12, 50%, and then us 9 for 14, over 50%. He's starting to trend in a direction upward. So, which means his team is going to be better because of that. And this is why they 9-1 now, or 10-1 in the last 11 games. This is what I don't see necessarily from us. Now we see Maxey kind of doing that a little bit, but he not there on that level.
And that's why I want. And remember, that's the point we was arguing when I was saying, give me a Harden because he can control the offense. Like all the guys that we're talking about getting, like a Harden, or when we was talking about that, like when we're talking about getting that big name player, and that was my other thing about the young guys. When we were talking about like with the young guys, my other thing with the young guys is that's like Maxey. Maxey's a solid player. He's getting no calls against Chris Paul, and like Thibault is getting no calls against Booker down the end of the game. The problem when you have young guys, like even if you bring in the Halliburton, and they're talented, but when you have these guys and in playoff settings, they're not going to get the benefit of those calls against them guys.
I agree.
That's why I want veteran. That's why I want proven players who have that that's going to demand respect from the refs going into the playoffs right now. That's what I prefer.
Thibault was a terrible example though of somebody not getting a call. Everybody else, I agree with you. You said Thibault.
Why Booker wasn't getting a lot of touchy calls on Thibault tonight?
You said Thibault getting a call. Thibault ain't getting no calls.
No, I'm saying that, like, well, on defense he didn't have the calls going his way.
Oh,
okay. That's what I'm saying. The younger, yeah, I'm talking about offense and defense. Like the younger players, they don't give them the benefit of the calls when you're going up against the vets. That's my main reason why I want a veteran proven player. But I get the point that you're making, like just start building your squad up, like get this young talent in now. But I think you could probably still do that in the offseason and stuff like that.
Yeah. So all that being said, we still only lost the game by one possession. We were still in it down to the bitter end. We was up for the better part of the game. And we as somebody said in the comments, we fumbled the bag late in the game and gave it away, in my opinion, with some favorable calls from the refs, but just some sloppy play toward the end of the game. But it shows me that we are there. We are one of those teams. We that good. We are that good. But we could have got better. Hopefully, we got another day or 2 days left. That may change. We may get better. Who knows? But even with this team the way it is, I'm still confident that we can win some games. We can make some series very interesting against anybody, at least in the East.
We need a floor general.
We do. I agree. I've been saying that since the beginning. I've been saying that. I don't think Maxey is the point guard. I think he's a very good player, and I think he'd be a good complementary scorer. But I've been saying I thought we need a point guard.
All right. Y'all got any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Somebody, Tim, call Ben Simmons. You got all this love. You got to have his phone number. At least you got to have direct connect through his Instagram. DM.
Yeah, you Herb, and all the rest of the Ben lovers. Y'all need to go.
Yeah.
Find wherever he's hiding out at right now. Ben, come home. Ben, come home.
Ben would have put us over the top if he was playing. We played that was the missing piece.
Get y'all pom-poms together. Y'all go out there.
Remember that video with the dude when they got the funny looking boy that looked like Ben Simmons and he got his shirt rolled up and he was at like the Pride Parade and boy looked just like Ben Simmons. That's how y'all got to go here.
That was hate.
Come back, Ben.
Y'all get Ben back, and then maybe we can make a little late season run with Ben coming off the bench.
All right, everybody, tell us what you think. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. Don't forget the notification button.
Person, I wish I had his number. I bet you do.
Hit that like button. Listen, go hit him up on Twitter. Is he still on social media, or he ain't paying attention to y'all lovers?
DM him, Tim. Hit him with the DM. Tell him to come on the show. Let's get. Do him
like he did Shaq. Do him like he did Shaq.
All he's gonna do is listen to a couple of the shows that y'all was on there. He ain't gonna want nothing.
Mr. Shaquille, brother, you know, LSU brother. I just would like to say I didn't appreciate the disregard you gave for my feelings.
Tell Ben we have enough viewership to restore his credibility in the city. Come on in the show. Come on.
All 900 people are gonna be like, yeah, that's
Hey, guess what? And if Ben Simmons said he wanted to come back and play, you know what I would do? I would walk down that stadium and say, "Go Ben!" I'll be
He'll be back. Don't forget, y'all catch Ben after the All-Star break. He'll be back here playing for the Sixers. Then Tyrese will be that first one off the bench, and then we'll be back. Championships quality.
Shake is our answer. Shake gonna come back and we gonna start.
That's not
having
right. Anyway, thanks for listening, y'all. We catch y'all on Thursday. I think we play OKC.
Friday. I think we play Friday.
Friday.
OKC. So more than likely, it'd only be two people hosting by then.
Yeah,
we can guess which two.
Exactly.
When Golden State play again.
See, OKC. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. We out.
Deuces.